I'm not like my dad. I'm smarter than him. Better than him.
What up, welcome back to the channel. I'm Monet, and we're locked in. This is the recap for episode 8 of Power Book 2 Ghost. And let me just tell you guys, the Rico is here. Effie is in jail. RIP to Sax. It's a crazy time in the Power universe. Just remember, this is the last episode. We have a break. Then we'll come back in 2 weeks, May 18th. So let's go ahead and jump into this and break it down. But before we do, if you like Power content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions, live shows, tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Then hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. I am excited with what the Power universe is doing, and I gotta continue to say this each and every time we get on here. They are doing an amazing job with this, but now we need to figure out how Tariq is going to save everyone and get them out of this jam that essentially they all put themselves into. So let's jump into it. This is the recap of episode 8, book 2, Ghost. The episode starts off on the roof with Davis getting drunk. Now he's going through it. 28 years, y'all. 28 years he's been waiting on his brother to get released. And now that he is, it seems like he's a little ungrateful. But we know Theo, he took this time so his brother Davis could be successful. But now he took him out of jail and it could potentially all come back onto him. Now Sax, he's kind of talking Davis out of it. But Davis gets a phone call and he finds out that Diana is arrested and he needs to go down to the jail to represent her. But Sax is saying, "You're drunk, I'll handle it." Back at the Tejada house, they're going through it. No one really knows what's exactly going on. We just know that Diana was arrested. Now Monet is saying if one of the boys were down there, she would feel more comfortable. But she knows that Diana likes to run her mouth. So she's trying to figure out how they're going to get down there, get Diana out. Now Kane, he's listening to all of this and he's wondering, how did Diana even get arrested? Where did she even get work from? And of course, you know, Drew's been with Gordo, so he's not too sure what's going on either. But right now, the Tejadas, they're in a corner, and Davis is the only one that can get Diana out of this situation. Jenny and Blanca get to asking Diana all kinds of questions. Remember, she doesn't have any representation right now, so she needs to be quiet. But the thing about Diana, she knows a little bit more about her rights than her siblings, because she's in there saying, if you guys really had anything on me, then you would go ahead and charge me for something. Now they're saying, hey, if we hit you with this RICO, you're going to get years, even if you are a first time offender. That doesn't matter. And we can link a lot of things to the Tejada family. Now Diana is hearing this, but she wants to know, who do you guys actually want, Tariq or Monet? Because for her, she wants to figure out things also, but this is a risky move if you're not prepared to be able to take the consequences of them using your words against you in the court of law. Tariq goes and pays a visit to Davis because he needs to tell him the information that he knows. Davis is upset because he found out from Tariq that Sax is the mole and he's actually working with the feds and there's a RICO coming for everybody. Davis hears this information, goes to his little safe, and inside his safe he has a lockbox that has a gun. Davis went back to old street Davis. Tariq said, you can't do this. The block is hot. We need to all lay low. But you need to go down there and talk to Diana and not let her give any information to Sax because he is working with the feds. Right after this, Tariq got to run all the way back to Monet's house and let them know a RICO is coming. Now remember, Drew, he doesn't really know what's going on. And of course he is scared when he hears that a RICO is coming because he just got rid of Gordo and there's a lot of other bodies that are piling up that are all linked back to the Tejada family. So Monet, of course, you know how she gets. It's time to get in survival mode. Kane knows the block is hot, so he heads back to Stansfield to talk to Effie. Because remember, he gave Effie some work and was like, we're going to work together behind everyone's back. But when he gets there, he lets her know that Diana is jammed up. And Effie says everyone knew she was slanging out the candy shop. That sounds like a y'all problem. And Kane is saying, I know this, but I just want to make sure that our business is good because we're going to have to lay low for a minute. And I did pay for that tuition, but I don't want anything for it. For Effie, she hearing this and she couldn't believe that Kane was just doing this out of the kindness of his heart. These two, they end up getting it on. This is an awkward time to do this because your sister is jammed up. But in reality, there's really nothing that Kane could do at this moment to get her out of jail. They're not about to release her at midnight. So Kane decides to stay the night with Effie. Back at the precinct, Diana is about to get questioned, and remember, Sax showed up to represent Diana. He runs into Jenny in the hallway, and he's telling Jenny, listen, I'm ready to do this. Go in there, get this information from Diana, because we don't have any information right now. We don't have any stash houses. We don't have any plugs, none of that. If I go in there and get this information from Diana, then we could potentially use this and start that RICO off. Now, while all of this conversation is going down, we see Davis pull up. Remember, he's been drinking, but now he finally sees exactly what Tariq was talking about. Sax is talking to Jenny, and he's trying to say, I'm here to represent Diana. But we know that he was really over here trying to get information to help. Once they get in there, you can already see that Davis is feeling a little different towards Sax. He's telling Diana, talk to me. Sax is saying, talk to we, us. But that's because he's trying to get information to give Jenny. Now, while all this is going on, Sax starts asking police questions. Hey, where'd you get those codes from? Did you know what was in the bag? Now, Diana, we know that she slips up. She runs her mouth a little bit. She almost tells him everything that she knows. But Davis, he creates a diversion, knocks over the coffee, hands Diana a note and says, put Sax on Effie's trail, aka throw him off, give him some information about Effie, and we'll handle the rest on the outside. Kane is falling in love, and there's really nothing we can do at this moment. He stayed the night over Effie's house, and after a long night of that, you know waking up in the morning is tough. Effie says, you need to leave and don't be hitting me up. Kane says, we still got business, so I will be hitting you up. These two, they're doing a little bit of flirting, and then we hear a knock at the door. It's Tariq, and Tariq wants to talk a little bit of business, so Effie makes Kane go into the bathroom because she's not trying to deal with any stress this early in the morning. Once Tariq comes in the room, he just keeps it straight to the point. You need work, I need this work moved. You need money, I need to make money for Noma. We don't have to like each other, but we have to work with each other. So I can get you one brick every now and then, but I need you to move that as quickly as possible and bring the money back. Now remember, Kane is in the bathroom listening to everything, and Monet tells him he needs to get to the house because they have a family meeting right now. At the house, Monet is running everything. She has Drew there, Evelyn and the three Castillo brothers are here because we don't know where Gordo was at. And Monet is saying, listen, there's a RICO coming, but no one knows we're working with you guys. So y'all fall back, pull all the work off the streets, and we'll handle it from here. Now the Castillo brothers, they're saying, well, we need to know a little bit more about this information or we're not going to work with you. And Monet being Monet, she tells them to stay out of this. Now, when they get ready to leave, you remember the Castillo brothers didn't approve of Drew coming through to the cafe, but Gordo vouched for him. And now no one's seen Gordo. The tall Castillo brothers asking him, what is it, trouble in paradise? Because Drew was the last person to see Gordo. But you can tell that Evelyn, she can kind of sense that something funny is going on with this Tejada family. Kiki is telling Brayden, wake your butt up. We just checking on you because you haven't came to work. Now remember, Brayden just found out that his whole family's establishment, Weston Holdings, is a Ponzi scheme. They're frauds. They're not legit. They not getting money like we thought they were. So Kiki and Uncle Lucas, they've been in cahoots, and they're just making sure that Brayden is all right. And they got to remind Brayden that you need to go through with this or everything is going to crumble. So Brayden is kind of in a messed up predicament because he got the Tejada family money over there. He convinced Tariq to bring his money over there. So right now, it can get very, very ugly. Once Kane arrives back to the house after the family meeting, he starts to realize that they're putting a plan in place to try and set up Effie. Now we know that he's connected with Effie at this point, so he isn't going for it. But Monet is telling him to shut up, Kane. You don't know what you're doing, and you need to leave that girl Effie alone. Don't tell her nothing. But one thing we see from Kane is he finally starts standing up to Monet, and he says, I'm realizing that I'll be good without working with y'all. So it's looking like there's about to be a division within the family. But right now, Kane doesn't have enough people on the streets to be able to actually take this move to the next step. We got to head back down to Wall Street. Brayden and Tariq, they go in the conference room and they have them a little meeting. Tariq tells Brayden that there is a RICO. Brayden's thinking a YSL RICO? Yeah, that kind of RICO, meaning we're all going down. But he also reveals, well, Tariq, there's a RICO. I got to tell you something. Weston Holdings is a Ponzi scheme. So just like I was mentioning before, Tariq, the first thing he thinks of his whole trust fund is in Weston Holdings and he's going to lose it. So right now they got a RICO, they got all the money tied up. It's a bad situation, but this is the power universe and we know nothing ever goes according to plan. Monet pulls up on Lucas Weston at the country club. She's not playing around. They're telling her, ma'am, you need to have a reservation. She don't need no reservation. Sits down, tells Lucas, when I call, you answer. I want my money back and I want it whenever I want it. If I call you, you better answer. Now Lucas, he can't say much because his colleagues don't know that it's a Ponzi scheme. One, because it's their money that he's using. But he knows Monet is showing up. This can get real because he knew about Brayden and his drug operation. So he knew he had to be tied into somebody. And that somebody is Monet and she wants her money. The plan is starting to work. Diana tells Saxe that she cannot trust Davis because she thinks that Davis is working with Monet for her best interest and not Diana's. Saxe takes this information and goes straight to Blanca, straight to Jenny, the Justice League, and tells them, listen, Effie Morales, this is our girl, straight A student. If we can get her, she has drugs, she will tell. Now Blanca is saying, how'd you get this information? Saxe did get it from Diana and that is illegal because that is confidential. It should not be released to anybody outside the lawyer and the client. So Blanca isn't with it, but they're willing to do it if Saxe is going to risk his career for this, because if Effie doesn't work out, it's going to be very bad for Saxe because all the information he's been releasing. But he says, I'm ready and I want to be a part of this RICO. Back at Mecca's old condo, you see Kane on the phone talking to Effie, just checking in on her, nothing major. You know how it is when you're on the phone with Bae. You could be anywhere talking for hours. But upstairs we hear some commotion. When we go up there, we see Drew in the room tearing things up. And the reason for this, Everett is on TV, came back to New York City and actually made an announcement that he is coming out the closet. He is openly gay and his teammates appreciate it. Now Drew is upset because Drew wanted this to be his life with Everett. But now Everett, he's coming out, he's open to the world, and it's making Drew's heart just shrivel up from a grape to a raisin. One of the best debaters we've seen in the Power universe, Congress hopeful Rashad Tate. Now they're having this debate here on campus at Stansfield. We see the Westons are out there, and Lucas and Brayden's father have an interest in partnering up with Tate because they can get some influence from him and he can shift some laws around for them to make money on the back end. Plus we know they need more money for the Ponzi scheme. Now they're trying to call Tate out, and Tate is saying, listen, I'm gonna suppress the violence here in New York City and I'm gonna bring money into the city. Now, of course, we know that he's doing this a little bit illegally in a kinda unethical way, but this is Rashad Tate and this is what New York City needs. He has our vote. Theo comes and visit his brother and he's lying to him, telling him that the treatments, they're working, everything's gonna be A-okay. Davis tells Saxe to leave because he knows some things about Saxe and he doesn't want Theo to tell him everything, so he can't keep digging up any dirt on him. He already knows that Davis committed that crime and Theo took the charge. But he tells Theo Saxe is working with the feds. Theo hears this and the first thing that pops in his mind is, I knew something was off about that white guy. He got me off and we barely did anything. But Davis, he's just letting his brother know because it's been 28 years and the streets are different. The feds officially start this RICO hunt and they put a tail on Effie. But while that's going on, Drew, he's still recovering from last night seeing Everett announce that he's gay on national television and he's doing a little stalking. He told Kane he was going to drink until he blacks out, but he didn't tell Kane, I'm going to go drink where Everett's going to be. Now Everett comes and stumbles on Drew and sees that he's kind of intoxicated and Drew starts to lose it. He gets out and he starts telling Everett, I lost somebody that was special to me. They're no longer here. I don't know what happened. Everything is going down in flames. Everett's like, hey, calm down. But Drew, he has a broken heart and there's nothing you can do at this moment. But everyone is looking at him like, what is going on with this young man? The feds swoop in, snatch up Effie, then they raid Weston Holdings. Oh my goodness, it's about to go down. Effie probably ran about maybe 15 feet. 2 police officers got on her. They hemmed her up, put her in handcuffs. Junior goes into the warehouse and he runs his sample. Ooh, this is intense. Tick, tick, Negative? The cocaine sample comes back negative? It stayed clear. If it turned blue, then we would have been good to go. But they gotta let Effie go because all it was a bag of sugar. They didn't finesse the feds. Drew's little temper tantrum, it doesn't go unnoticed. The internet finds out about it. And once the internet gets a hold of it, believe me, in this time, day and age, it's gonna be the worst week of your life. But after that, people will forget about it. But it's going viral right now. Within 1 hour, 126,000 views. Whose man is this? So now everyone is hearing that Drew lost someone that was close to him. And who is watching this? Evelyn and the 3 G's in Brooklyn. The Castillo family now can start piecing together what happened to Gordo. Everything is out of sync now. Tariq is over here talking to Monet about everything that went down. Kane pops up. He's trying to figure out what's going down. We know that they set up Effie. Effie just gets released. Tariq put a play together so she wouldn't go to jail. And it turns out Effie said she would do the same thing. She would set all of them up if the tables were turned. Now Kane, he's not trying to be dealing with Tariq because he heard what Tariq was doing at the room, handing her over some extra work behind everyone's back. So right now, everything is mixed up. Kane leaves with Effie. He's upset. Tariq, you can see he's kind of hurt, and he asked Monet, did you know about this? Monet said, I don't care who's messing with who. I just want my money back from Weston Holdings. Things aren't looking good for Sachs. The information he gave about Effie, turns out it was false, and all it was sugar in all cap no fraps warehouse. And Gianni is telling him, you messed up, Sachs. All the information you gave was wrong. You were trying to burn me. You've been trying to bring me down since we haven't been messing around. So F you, Sachs. F you. Sachs is telling her, we'll never do that again, Gianni. I was really trying to give you this information. Everything I've been telling you has been true. We just got double crossed in the end because you were taking too long to act upon it. So Sachs leaves out of here distraught. On the way out, Sachs calls Tariq and leaves a voicemail because he won't answer and lets him know, I have the information on your mother. Tell your people to fall back. If they kill me, then all that information is gone. But before he can finish his message, he gets in the car. Theo pops up with a gun and tells him, just drive until I tell you to stop. Tariq told RSJ earlier that Weston Holdings is a Ponzi scheme and that it's messed up right now. So he has to come up with a plan with RSJ to try to get some of this money back because they were both bamboozled by the Weston Holdings. RSJ goes in here and talks to Lucas. Lucas is trying to keep it short and sweet and act like he doesn't know what's going on. But you got to remember, RSJ is a billionaire. He tells him, I got people in high places. I can shut this down. RSJ then says, but I'm going to put you on a payment plan. You're going to pay me back. You're going to pay Tariq back. And then you hear Brayden say, oh, and the Westons, we'll tell them about the money that we got in the Weston Holdings for the Tejadas. Oh, and you're going to pay the Tejadas back. So right now, Lucas, he's on a payment plan for a billionaire, for young Tariq, and for the Tejadas. So at least right now, we get the money until the SEC or the Ponzi scheme fails. Tariq heads straight to Davis's office to let him hear the information that Sachs left. Now, Sachs does have the information on where Tasha and Yaz is, and people were asking me, doesn't Tamika have that? And wouldn't Tariq know this information? Well, we don't know where Tamika is, and when they took Tariq out there, they didn't show him the exact location. He just knows it's somewhere in the woods. That could be here in New York, that could be out in New Jersey, out in Philly woods, we aren't sure. But Davis gets a phone call, and they're asking for Theo's emergency contact. Well, it turns out Theo's treatment, it hasn't been working. He hasn't been taking it. Theo's been saying that life is about to be sweet, but it's not, and now it has Davis wondering, you couldn't call Sachs? What time was that voicemail? I haven't heard from Theo. We need to go right now. Monet goes to pick up Diana from the precinct, and when Diana gets outside, in front of the police station, she's telling her mama, I don't want to be in the game. I want to transfer. I want to go to Spelman. I want to get away from this. Monet said, if you don't shut up, get a slap to your head. Why are you out here talking about all this family business in front of the precinct? Get in the car, Diana. You're not leaving the game. You're going to do what I say. Now, Diana was wrong for bringing all of this up out front of the precinct, And Monet, she kind of handled it. She handled it good, but all of this should have been talked about inside the vehicle. But Diana officially wants out because taking that charge and her charges pending, it ain't sitting well on her heart. The Tejada family is facing a RICO. Diana's in the precinct and Kane is going back over Effie's room. Man, I tell you, this is some brother. But after they get done doing what they do, they get a knock on the door. They're like, who is this? All right, we're coming in. Effie opens up the door. It's Blanca, the local PD, the DEA, and they snatch up Effie for the attempted murder of Lauren Baldwin. They also tell Kane, fall back. Who are you, her lawyer or something? I'll lock you up. Kane doesn't say anything else after that. They take Effie outside, handcuffed up. She's thinking it's about drugs. They said, nope, attempted murder of Lauren Baldwin. Lauren rolls the window down and says, yeah, that's the bee that tried to kill me. Effie, she's dumbfounded. And guess who's seen all of this? Kane. He got a good squint in too. So whenever that squint happens, oh yeah, he focused in. Is that Lauren? That light skin? He runs off because now it's getting real. Davis and Tariq show up to the helicopter pad, one of Theo's favorite spots, and he still has a gun to Sack's back. Now Sax is saying, Theo, you ain't got to do this. We can make it out of here. I'm not going to do it or say anything to anybody. Davis is screaming, Theo, put the gun down. We can fix this. We can work it. But Theo, he's tired of all this. He wants to save Davis, and that's why he took the charge. And knowing that Sax is working with the feds, this case that he took for Davis could come back and lock Davis up. This RICO could lock them up. He shoots Sack in the back, then he shoots himself in the head, taking his own life because now he said he's free. There you go, the recap for episode 8. Right before the break, that's how you're supposed to drop an episode. RIP to Sax. What do you think is going to happen with this RICO case? Of course, we know they're not all going to get hit with the RICO, but who will be the first person you think is going to get arrested moving forward? Is Diana going to be able to make it out the game? How are they going to bounce back from Drew's incident on YouTube and the Castillo family? Man, it's hell on earth right now in the Power universe. But that's how you end an episode. Let me know what you think. I'm J. Make sure you tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the live after show discussion. Break down each individual character, come up with the story behind the story. I'm J. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.